Well, hello, everyone.
Hey.
How do you start off with a laugh?
I don't know, because you made me laugh. We were talking about Lil Wayne. The block is hot.
Okay, because we like it for the 99 to 2000.
Yeah, look.
That's another thing.
Look at your shirt.
Oh, B.I.G.
Rest in peace, B.I.G.
You gotta say it like with the deep Ross voice.
I ain't gonna even try it.
Let's get this thing started.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Tosh, and I'm here with my good girlfriend,
Sandra C,
a.k.a. number one.
And this is
The Bust Down, Jesus, and everything in between.
It's eye-catching.
Oh, it's a conversation.
It's everything.
It's the Bust Down. And welcome back to our podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
We are so glad to have you all. We thank you for your love, your support, your views, your likes, your shares. And we just wanted to come on and just further the conversation.
Further the conversation.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because we had some questions.
We did.
From the first episode, we had a couple of questions that we wanted to just come live and discuss openly.
Yep.
I think we had one that kind of spoke some things into existence. Maybe we may have this one day. But I'm just going to read that question because sis was serious.
Yes, she was. So the first question is, I need help finding a bust down.
Okay.
Do y'all sell wigs?
We do not. But sis, if you find a good bust down wig,
let me know.
Please let me know. I want to make sure it don't frizz.
Yeah.
It don't even hold up oil.
Yeah.
I need it to last. I need that what's that little net looking thing to be just right.
Yeah.
That leave out. No, it's not a leave out no more.
Oh, you talking
closure?
Yeah, the closure. Yeah.
I need to be just right. So if you find out whoever do that, let me know. But maybe one day we might actually connect with someone that sell bust downs.
Yeah.
And, you might see a couple heads in the back.
Yeah, we are business women, so we're always looking for new business ventures. So,
yeah. We with it.
We with
I almost
it.
said the wrong thing, but we are with it, right?
Yeah, we with it.
Yeah,
what were you about to say?
We love bust downs. I can't say what I was about to say.
You about to bust it down?
Yeah, the Holy Spirit was holding me back.
Oh.
Thank God for the Holy Spirit.
Thank God for the...
Lead me, guide me, direct me.
Okay. All right. So the next question is, how do you feel with jumping into everything you have wanted in your life? That's a good question. Very thought-provoking question.
Yes. What kind of thoughts you have?
It was a lot. So when I read this, I was like, wow, everything, not just in business, not in relationships, but every aspect of my life. So for me, I'm very knowledgeable. I'm very aware that when I make decisions or jumps, I have to know that the jump that I'm making is not off of impulse.
Okay.
And I say that, and I'm saying that because I am aware that because of some trauma in my life, early in my life, that sometimes when I would make moves, it was just because off of a feeling. I ain't done any research. I hadn't had any thought about it, hadn't put any work into it. I just felt like I needed to do something different. So if that thought to do it, it doesn't come to here, but it's just off of feelings, then I don't move that way. I want to make sure that anything that I do, great or small, it has to have a reason behind it. Yeah. So I need to know the purpose.
Right. I think one time when we were talking and to go a little bit more in depth of why it can't be off of feelings.
Yeah.
And I had said one time that, excitement and fear and anxiety feels exactly the same. My first time realizing, wait a minute, this kind of feels like something I'm familiar with because I identified and connected a lot with fear and anxiety because I'm just afraid of the what ifs on different situations.
Right.
And so knowing not to go into a fearful place or a place where it's just the feelings feel like I need to do something different, that is what's going to keep us from actually jumping into pain.
Right.
Or setbacks or upsetting.
Yeah. Because I like I said earlier, I just found when I would jump, just literally off a feeling, I feel I have to do something different. Then it brought me so much agony. I was like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And now I'm very much knowledgeable about any decision that I make, any jump. I really do need to know, why am I trying to move this way? Mm-hmm. Is it solely to feed this urge or this I call it the monster that rises up and shows its head?
Hey, you just like that rises up.
That's how it rises up. But it does. It rises up and it rears its ugly head, and I literally have to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And so, and I just, to be a responsible person, mm-hmm. I don't ignore it. I'm mindful of it. And then that's a lot of talking to myself. Hey, what do you need to do to address this feeling that you're having?
And then another thing too is I think about what you're saying, because as thinking about that question for myself, you can jump afraid. Mm-hmm. You can do it with your fears. You can do it with your anxiety. You could do it with the research. Yeah. But the most important thing is doing it when God tell you to do it. Right. Like keeping him in your focal point. Because sometimes when you jump or when God tell you to go, like I stated, he told me to go. And I love what you said. You said, I didn't have anything to lose, but you had a lot to lose.
Absolutely.
Right? And I had a lot to think about when it came down to the jump. But when my son was in the NICU and I was in a certain space in my mind, mm-hmm. I was reminded of the scripture that said, those that know your name trust you. Mm-hmm. And so I remixed it. I said, because I know your name, right. because I've experienced you, because I've encountered you, yeah. I can trust you. And so when I find myself in places where I am in uncertainty, or I'm not sure, or I've done all the research, but I'm still like, okay, God, you sure? Yeah. Then I remind myself of, those that know your name trust you. And because when you go into this jump, I talked about how when I bought this one house in this really, really nice subdivision, mm-hmm. and everyone that told me, how do you get to your house? Oh, it's easy. It's a straight shot to my house. Yeah. But
no, it's not.
It wasn't a straight shot in my mind, because you follow the road out and it's a straight shot. Yeah. But there's a 4-way stop. Mm-hmm. There's a veer off to the right. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell them about their portion. So every time they would call and say, I'm lost, I knew exactly where they were lost at. They were lost on this one that loops around. And they would make this statement to me when they got to my house. Don't you ever tell me mm-hmm. it was a straight shot. Mm-hmm. And so with jumping, I would say it's a straight shot because I keep my eyes straight to him. But you're going to find yourself at a 4-way stop. Right. You're going to find yourself where you got to veer off the road. Right. You're going to find yourself in spots where you have to yield mm-hmm. to oncoming traffic or allow that to process. So all those thoughts come to mind when it comes down to jumping. But at the same time, how do I feel? Yeah. When jumping into the things that I want in life?
In every aspect of your life.
But, you're taking baby steps to that. Yeah. Because once you do one jump and you see that, okay, I can do this. He got me. He's not failing me. Mm-hmm. Then as it keeps coming, because you're gonna always be jumping in life. Like as far as like where God is taking you to, you're gonna, level up. You're gonna go into other spaces of life. So I feel empowered. Mm-hmm. I feel chosen. Mm-hmm. I feel worthy. Yeah. And these are new feelings to feel, because I didn't feel those things before.
One thing I have noticed when I make a decision, I see God on it. I can ask him, hey, God, this is the fleece I need. If I'm supposed to do this, mm-hmm. then show me this, or this will happen. And he never fails. He knows how to talk to me. He knows.
What's the fleece you did recently?
Ooh.
You gotta give details, because, okay. Your kind of fleece to be rodeo.
One time rodeo. So I was seeking God on something, and it was dealing with my business. And so I said, God, I need you on something. If it's supposed to happen and I'm going to be okay with this decision, then I need you to show up in this way. And so God knows I have a soft spot for older people. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the grocery store. I won't say the name, but I'm in the grocery store, and this handicapped elderly man, he looked like Santa Claus to me. He purposely, and there's people all around him, but he looks directly at me. And I was like, oh my gosh, he like walking up and going into that area where he was in, I automatically felt something like, okay, what's this? And then he looks at me and we make eye contact. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he says, excuse me, ma'am. I need you. Can you get this out the freezer for me? Now, there's other people around. Mm-hmm. I said, sure. Okay. So I said, well, which one do you want? And he wanted some barbecue. He said, I want the barbecue that says, get this, Lloyd's. Yeah. And it's so close to the word of
It was
Lloyd.
Your face.
Yeah, it was so close to the word of Lloyd. And I was like, okay. So I grab it and I'm shaking because I just had this conversation with God. Mm-hmm. I've been talking to him for a few days. And then this was the thing I said, if this is the way I'm supposed to go, mm-hmm. and I'm going to be okay with this, then I need you to, this is my fleece. This is what I need you to show me. Mm-hmm. And so he talked to me by sending, and I believe this man was an angel. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to myself. I give the man the Lord, and he says, thank you to me. And I'm talking to myself. Oh my gosh, is this an angel? Like I'm in my head. Mm-hmm. And then I turned around. I don't hear the hover round drive off. And I'm saying hover round. You know, I don't hear the scooter driving off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd he go? Mm-hmm. He just disappeared. And I remember this is just so clear to me because I've been talking to my bishop about angels. Shout out to Bishop Ray Floyd. And he gave me a book written by Tony Evans that mm-hmm. talks about
his favorite author.
Yeah, that talks mm-hmm. about angels. So I'm reading this book and I'm intrigued and I'm learning more about them because I've had other encounters with angels, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm talking to myself in the store and I'm like, where did this man go? I don't see him. And I mean, those hover-ons don't move that fast, but he's moving fast.
The ones that Sam's do. Them little carts. I mean, I didn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But anyway, I'm in the grocery store.
They got a 10-speed.
So I'm still, but here's the crazy thing. You were so funny. I'm still talking to God because I'm in awe. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I believe this man is an angel. So I'm like, okay, God, well, if I get up here to the register mm-hmm. and I don't see him, then that means that he wasn't an angel. So I'm at the register.
So they were your fleece again.
That's right.
Well, no, your first fleece, technically.
Yes.
Okay.
But then he gives me the confirmation. Mm-hmm. So then I'm paying for my things. And I said, well, maybe he's outside. If he's outside, I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to talk to him. Mm-hmm. So I look to my left because in my peripheral vision, I see someone on a hover ramp. Mm-hmm. I look to my left and there he is in another freezer trying to get something else. Oh my gosh. Okay, God, I hear you.
So did you freeze and not go talk to him?
I did not go talk to him.
You know what they remind me of?
What?
In Samson's mother, mm-hmm. when the angel came and gave her a confirmation, and her husband said, wait, God, send that angel back.
Yeah.
And he saw him, he came back.
Yeah.
In my imagination, I think the angel said, what's up? What's good? You know, like, well, yeah, I am him.
So you'll be blown away if I tell you that same angel I saw again. And I saw the angel very near my office. Mm-hmm. So after that happened.
Was he floating on 22s?
Yeah.
He was in his little hover round?
Yeah, he was. And so I had just got up that morning. I'm talking to God. And I said, God, I need you to send your angels.
Again. Okay.
Again. I said, I need you to send your angels. And I'm sitting on my couch talking to God about this. I get to work. I start my day. I'm going to check the mailbox. Mm-hmm. And guess who I see going up the hill as I'm going to my mailbox?
He had a 10-speed because that's not like a little steep hill for
But what I'm saying is God talks to me in that way. He knows I have a soft spot in my heart for older people. Mm-hmm. He knows that.
You do.
He knows that he will send angels in the natural form mm-hmm. so that I'm not fearful, mm-hmm. but that he can reassure me. He hears me. He's right here with me. Mm-hmm. And so when you say seeking him on jumps, I do. I seek him on jumps, and I throw a fleece out there.
I had a fleece with my house, mm-hmm. and it was so crazy that maybe a month or two before finding the house, I had this. I love this one neighborhood, mm-hmm. and I drove around the neighborhood for 4 years. So just catch that.
Yeah.
It wasn't immediately. It was 4 years.
Yeah.
And I drove that neighborhood day and night to the point my kids would get irritated. Like, can we go home now?
Yeah.
And then I had the app Redfin, Zillow, Truly, whatever, all the apps that have everything with houses on it. And I always wanted to look up this one neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I knew everything about this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And one broker was like, hey, I don't think you're fully ready yet. Let's wait another 6 months. Okay. But I was so tired of my current home. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you first buy a home, you don't know all the things you need to ask or the right questions. So you can buy something that can be a money pit. Mm-hmm. We constantly have to get something repaired. I was always, if I heard a sound, I was like, okay, what was that? You know, like I'm thinking about all the expenses I already put out.
Right.
And so I was so upset that I said, you know what, I think I took advice of another realtor that said, maybe you should just sell your house because it's seller's market right now. We're in the middle of COVID, and go rent somewhere. And a lot of people were renting at the time. They were selling their houses and renting. Some people I remember this one broker, she sold her house and went to go stay in a, I almost said hover round, but one of those little, one of those trailers, like the little mobile homes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so her and her husband had this little mobile home that they were going to just, you know, travel around in, and that's how they were going to do it. Mm-hmm. But I heard God telling me stay the course. And that frustrated me. Because I'm like, God, I just had to put new ductwork, and that's not cheap.
Right.
I just put new flooring upstairs. Then the water pipe bust in the floor. I had to get that done, and they had to go through concrete. Not a cheap thing.
Right.
So I don't want anything else. And I really want to be out of here.
Yeah.
And everybody's advice is telling me, because it's seller's market, sell now. Before because they had this thing about the market crash. The market still ain't crashed. Everybody kept talking about that, right? But I kept hearing God tell me, stay the course.
Okay.
And I got so frustrated. I went to my husband and I was like, what do you think we should do? He said, well, I agree with you. I feel like this, but I think we should just, you know, wait this out. Okay. But I needed somebody to blame because I didn't want to stay the course, right? So I remember going for a ride one night, and I went to my favorite neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I go up this one street, and this particular street I didn't really care for because I was like, there's no house on the street that I want. Mm-hmm. But I happened to see this house, and I said, oh God, this house didn't have a sale on it or anything for sale, nothing like that. I just liked the way the door looked. And I said, God, I looked up the address, and I was like, oh God, this house is so beautiful. When you get ready to open the door for me, if I stay your course, I want the house to look just like this.
Okay.
Then I said, you know, matter of fact, I want this house.
Okay.
And I drove off. Yeah. The house is not for sale. It ain't on the market. It don't have a sign out front. I just like the way the door looked. And when I seen the house, I liked everything about the house.
Okay.
No pre-approval letter. Already been told, hey, you got to wait a little bit more time, you know, because after buying new windows on the house and all that kind of stuff, your debt to income ratio has fluctuated now, and you need a little bit more time.
Right.
So a couple days passed by, or a couple weeks maybe, and the house goes on sale. Mm-hmm. That same house. And I was like, God, if it's meant for me to get this house, show me something. Okay. Do something.
Okay.
You know, like you telling me to stay the course. I had already went and got another, found a house around the corner from my other house to rent.
Right.
Did the down payment. Me and my husband did the application fee. But I could hear God telling me, stay the course.
Wow.
So I said, okay, God, if this is meant for me, you'll open up the doors. And I was singing that song, Holy Spirit Activate. So my sister,
Spirit Activate.
I know, right? I was just like in the kitchen having to sing that to myself because my mind is going into so many things about how I want to help God help me get what I need to get. And he just you move in a different way, and I don't really understand God. So my sister was like, hey, Sandra, I think I'm ready to buy. Okay, I can help you. And I had a friend that was like, hey, I got this woman that can do magic and 580 credit scores. So I was like, I don't have a 580 credit score. I'm actually good. Mine is debt to income ratio. So if you can play with this 580, maybe you can play with my debt to income ratio too. I didn't tell anybody that. That was just my thought, right? So I applied for my sister, and I went ahead and applied for myself.
Okay.
I didn't say no numbers or anything. She called me next morning, and she said, Miss Sandra, you didn't put how much you needed. And I said, that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to, after you apply, they tell you exactly how much you are allotted. Mm-hmm. She said, do you have a house in mind? I said, yes. What's the address? And she said, okay. And I said, I think I can get you there. I said, how can you get me there when I just got told no? And she asked me, where's your faith? So I was like, she must be a scam or like one of them little crook things, you know, because I be watching little stuff like that. And so I was like, I don't know. So she said, I'm going to send you the pre-approval for this house.
Okay.
And so I call a friend that's a realtor, and I call her and I'm like, hey, sis, I was into something and I got a pre-approval letter. I need you to check this out. So she calls me and said, this is actually facts. Like, this is real, right? So let me back up just 1 second. The man called me after I had went to see the house. Mm-hmm. I seen the house for sale. So I walked into, I looked at the man was outside and I said, can I go in this house? He said, sure. I'm about to get ready to put it on the market, stuff like that. And I go in the bedroom and I said, God, if this is your will, I need one of your miracle workers on this because I've already been told no.
Right.
And I really love this house. Right. So fast forward back to where I was at. I go to, the man calls me and says, hey, it ain't been listed online yet. And I'm just waiting on you. I don't have a pre-approval. So I started crying. My mother-in-law was like, I wish you just stay out of this neighborhood, almost at the neighborhood. Yeah. And wait till you're ready, because that man already told you you're not ready. But I can still hear God say, stay the course. I got so far. I said, God, what is the course?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
Right? So that next day, I got a letter. That man called me around 7 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock that morning, I had a pre-approval letter without even knowing I was going to get it. Mm-hmm. I went ahead and applied that night. So I sent it over to him, and he was like, wait a minute. Your house is not for sale. You're under a contract right now. Mm-hmm. So everybody told me, this is not going to happen for you because you are contingent and it's a seller's market.
Okay.
But God kept telling me, stay the course. Okay, God, you're going to have to help me with the course. Even it came down to everything I asked him for, down to the number of what to sell my house for and everything. It all happened on 18s because he had told me that, well, that's another story, but 18 became my number.
Yes.
And so on October 18, I signed the agreement for both. And then I moved in November 18th.
Wow.
So it was just like everything was that way. But my fleece to him was, if you're telling me to stay the course, then I need you to open up what they've already told me no to. Mm-hmm. And it opened up that way.
Right.
And so it's something powerful about staying the course, even when it's where God tell you to jump in. Sometimes God will take you to a spot where there's a no.
Yeah.
So he can show how powerful he is with how he moves. And he doesn't move on anyone else's time.
Right.
I study house buying process.
Right.
Everything I studied, everything that I knew the process should be, I did not go through that. Everything was out of even to my realtor was like, this is not the usual.
Right.
She was so inspired that she was like, this is faith I've never seen before. I even shouted in the when we were signing paperwork, mm-hmm. because I was just like, man, if this is what staying the course looks like, what else can I stay the course with? So that track record began to be proven. How I stayed the course when my son was in the NICU. How I stayed the course with this process of wanting to get my family to a better situation.
Yeah.
How I stayed the course with coming all the way over to the jump he wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And so now I know when I stay the course, mm-hmm. the reward is great.
Right.
Then I think about that. What should I render unto God for all his benefits towards me? Mm-hmm. I think about that Psalm 116.
Yeah.
And that's with providing this testimony, providing other people with the fleece that mm-hmm. you can ask God, hey, God, help my unbelief right now. You're going to have to really show me this, make sure it's not my own thoughts happening, and keeping him at your focal point is going to be the key thing when it comes down to how do you feel with jumping into every aspect of your life? Is God in every aspect of your life? Mm-hmm. And that's where you want to be at, mm-hmm. right in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's my fleece.
That's a good.
And my Waffle House yellow.
Yeah.
I wish I was both-handed. I'm just playing. That's my favorite video.
So it just speaks to that God is our source. Mm-hmm. He wants us to live life and live it more abundantly. Mm-hmm. And so when he gives to us, he doesn't want us to feel like we can't ask him for anything else. Mm-hmm. He wants us to come and continue to ask him. He'll provide it to us. Mm-hmm. So.
But that's to have a childlike mind.
Yeah, because kids will ask you for anything.
Mm-hmm. And expect for you to give it to them. And if you tell them, Mama, remember you told me I could do this? Mm-hmm. And I really was halfway asleep. I shouldn't have told you that anyway. Because it's not possible, but there's nothing.
So why do you think that, because I'm like this, God did this for me, so I don't really want to ask for anything else. So why do you feel like we as individuals are that way? And how do you get to a point where you can overcome that?
I think it's that statement that your mom said at the dinner table, kids in Africa ain't eating. So you better eat what you got on the table. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that. Where it's like you should be happy for what you have. Because other people don't have what you have. Right. And it's not saying you can't be happy for what you have. And also acknowledging that you may have something that other people don't have, but there's more.
Yeah.
And I can have more.
Yeah.
And I can do more. And I can seek him more. Mm-hmm. And it's all about the worship. And he wants to give me more. He's for me. He wants me to have everything he created me to have.
Come talk to
him.
That's what he said.
Man,
come talk
to big.
Yeah. I love that.
So I think that goes into all in all, when it is something that you're jumping, and there's nothing wrong with asking God. There's nothing wrong with seeking him. There's nothing wrong with not so questioning him to not jump, but questioning him on and getting the instructions on what to do and keeping him at your focal point. I think about the scripture, those who seek shall find, or you have not because you ask not. So when it comes to jumping, what are you asking for? How are you asking? What is your heart posture? And are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to stay the course? And whatever course he leads you to, he will get you through and take you to. I think about traveling with my mom and them from Arkansas to California. We had to go to this desert. And when we got in Arizona, there's this desert, and it was instructions. At a certain time of day, you had to cut your ear off. And I mean, I'm young. I'm like, look, we hot, we stick it to each other. Come on now. There's going to be times in the jump where you're going to find yourself, you got to turn the AC off and you can't be comfortable and you're going to be a little sweaty and hot, but you were still traveling to your destination.
Right.
And the desert time is only for a moment. Enjoy the journey.
And it's part of the process. Yeah. So, and I would say, of course, seek God and allow him to be a part of that. But when you make jumps, make sure it's not just out impulse, that you do your research. You put the work in. You weigh out the pros and cons to know if this really, truly is the way you should move. So
seek wise counsel.
Yeah.
Proverbs tell you that if you have plans, if you don't seek the wise counsel, I'm paraphrasing, it will fail. But the person that has a successful plan has wise counsel.
Yeah.
So seeking wise counsel. I even think about this cup I seen where it says to enjoy the journey. And I was like, God, how do I enjoy the journey? And and in that moment, Holy Spirit told me the fact that you're on the journey that you prayed for, that's an enjoyment. So I was like, okay, God, thank you. Because in that moment I felt tired. I ain't had no rest. She called you at 4:00 in the morning about a problem. So, you got to go ahead and respond. And he has no sense of time.
Oh my goodness.
When we were in the thick of it.
Yeah.
When she called, I would literally, before I even answer the phone, I would jump out of the bed and start making my way up to my office. Run up them stairs. I mean, one morning I fell down the stairs.
You cussed me out, didn't you?
No, because Ron told us, man, you knew you weren't awake. Now I'm all up. Are you all right? I would have been like, Kevin Hart, help me. You fall and your eyes are closed and you like, I can still hear the rumbling in my head, but I'm now on the bottom of the steps and I can't hear anything else. So I'm like, am I safe?
You had to complete the fall, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to go ahead and just let it be. I fought it for a minute, but I was making more noise. The kids sleep. So,
oh my God.
Come down scratching her side. What was that noise?
Yeah.
Go to bed. I know.
Hilarious.
Right.
Rod come around the corner. Get up. I was in here sleep knocked out. You want to wake.
Yeah.
You need to make sure your feet planted first.
Ooh.
I just leave my feet planted.
They was on you.
And they talked about something. Call back. Did you look at it? Almost, girl. Almost. But also sometimes your problems wake you up or you don't even go to sleep because your mind is so boggled down. So I just had to acknowledge, even when I'm feeling stressed out, God, I'm on this journey with you, and what a journey. And I am on a journey that I asked for.
Yeah.
I prayed for, but I got to keep on praying to give me the strength, the endurance that it's going to work my patience and I'm going to get there when I'm going through the desert.
Because it's preparing you for something else. Yeah.
I'm ready for the palm trees.
Okay.
And the water.
All right.
Not the seaweed though, because I'm scared of seaweed.
This is good.
It was.
Yeah. So I hope that answered your question both of you all, individuals that asked us the questions. I hope that answered them.
Yeah.
So
I'm hungry now. What about you?
Me too. But I've been sipping on my tea.
Oh my God, this bougie cup and this bougie. You know what? I wish you would have showed them the what was that tea called? A tea ball? That was a flower. What was it?
A tea ball.
What was? Oh man, TEA. What was a tea flower? A tea flower. What was it called?
Okay, but I'm not hungry.
What was it called? It was called a tea flower or something, wasn't it?
Tea bomb.
Tea bomb. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Actually, put bomb in there.
It's different flavors, so it's different little flower bombs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so pretty.
Yeah,
it was so pretty. But what's your bougie song? Go ahead and end with your bougie song.
No, I want to give a shout out to Forever Daddy's Girls, because it's a tea cup and a.
I wish you would have cleaned it before you showed it.
I've been drinking tea, dude.
Okay,
that's rude. I did clean it. That's so rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your shout out. Because they're so amazing for what they're doing in the community for our daddy's daughters. And so let's talk about that.
Go ahead. Talking about the glass not clean. Mind you, it's something in here.
This is not a reflection of daddy's little girls. This is just like a reflection of how we talk to each other.
Well, let me say it is. Okay. When they gave me the teacup, it was clean.
Mm-hmm. It's still so beautiful.
Yes, I've been drinking out of it all day. Right.
And when she hold it, she be so bougie.
And but anyway, it's really cute. You can steep your tea in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little teacup. You can drink out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm very proud of it. Mm-hmm. They asked me my favorite color, which is blue. So I love it. I'm real bougie with it. Mm-hmm. Even got a little spoon to it.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about it. Tell us about Daddy's Little Girls.
It's an amazing organization. Forever Daddy's Girls. Ooh. Ladies, I'm so sorry.
Okay, yeah, let's get serious because they are amazing. Yeah. So, and I don't mean to say the wrong things. I think we just it's late. But we definitely want to give them a shout out for the things that they're doing in the community, for our young adults and for older women as well. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I feel like they give what I call community affirmations. Mm-hmm. They're touching young women between the ages of 11 and up, mm-hmm. letting them know that they're beautiful, they're important, they're valued. If they're not getting those affirmations at home, mm-hmm. they're making it their business to let these young ladies know. Mm-hmm. It's a nonprofit, and they want these individuals to know that they are loved by the Most High.
Yeah, fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes, mm-hmm. That's why I got my shirt on. I'm dope like that. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Your shirt unzipped.
Oh, girl, I'm giving you the cold shoulder, baby, because you've been clowning. What? I'm not bothered because God got you. He gonna deal with you.
Oh, because you had that little bitty old tea, and you clowning like this. I ain't talking about the cup because the cup. I'm kind of jealous because I want the cup too.
Yeah,
I'm not jealous. I want the cup too.
Ask God for it.
I will. Think that'll be a fleece.
But you get the cold shoulder.
Okay. I want to shout out someone that's amazing too. I want to shout out Rose Gold Lens.
Yeah.
She keep the bust down right.
Yeah.
She does our edits. I hope she edited out some things because I really made some errors on this. But I mean, we might be able to work it in so you can kind of see. You can, I guess, humanize. Well, that won't be a good word, but
you just be able to see how let's be real.
And married. And we've been around. No, we ain't been around the block, but we experienced in some things in life, in areas in life. I'm still messing
up.
That's
okay if you have. That's okay. It's just experience.
Okay. But I want to shout her out because, again, I know we're getting kind of giddy, but this is not a reflection of how amazing her work is, her aim, her eye. Yeah. We're very appreciative of Miss Clark.
Yeah.
Mrs. Clark, if you know, the
Nasty.
other stuff. No, if you want photography.
Oh.
We'll do it like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Janet Jackson said.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, we don't want to be nasty. You know.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay to be a little nasty. Yeah. But yeah. So shout out to Forever Daddy's Girls. You can find them on Instagram,
Facebook.
Yeah, they're just a dope organization.
Yeah, so check them out. They have their stories, their testimonials, and different things that they're doing out there in the community. And the event we went to was like so amazing. They had a tea party, and I felt like a little girl having a tea party that I never had, that I thought I really would have wanted. What was their little, I don't want to say the wrong thing because I'm kind of ratchet. I ain't been on the other side of bougie like you. So what's they
did have
d'oeuvres. I don't know what they're called.
They did have the little finger sandwiches, and they had
had a cucumber sandwich that was so good to me.
Macaroons. Am I saying that right? And of course the tea. That they had the tea shipped in from England. Am I saying, is that the right accent?
I don't know because I ain't from there. I don't know how they sound.
Okay. That's my interpretation of it.
Oh, okay.
They did an amazing job. They really thought about it. And what I thought was interesting is I was talking to the other ladies at the event. A lot of women there had never been to a tea party. So this was a first time experience for them. Mm-hmm. This was the second time I had been to a tea party. The first time was like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And me and one of my big sister, we put it on for our kids. Mm-hmm. But it was my first time experiencing an actual tea party.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So again, shout out to Forever Daddy's Girls.
And Rose Gold
Lens. And what else? My shirt.
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about it since you said you want to talk about my shoulder out.
Yeah, you inappropriate with your, unzipped.
So shout out to, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, Koto Mamalu.
I think that's how you say her name.
Okay. She custom made this for me.
Okay.
I love her work. I've been a fan of hers since she went on, what's the show?
Designer's Choice or
Project Runway.
Oh, okay. Why did I say Designer's Choice? Is that a show?
Because no, that's something local. But I know I think she was in that at one point. Like she debuted some of her collection.
Yeah, okay.
Debuted a collection. But yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. As well known as this lady is, I had an issue with my delivery, and she made it a point to meet me to give me my shirt.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I'm just like a fan. She'll always get my coins. So shout out to Koto.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out.
Yeah. Waffle House.
I want my shirt zipped up.
Oh, you can zip it.
I'm just playing.
See?
I think it's really cute though.
It's real versatile.
It's dope.
It's real versatile.
Because you're trying to give me a cold shoulder.
Cold shoulder, baby. Cold shoulder. This is my bust down today.
I think we had like more giggles this time.
Yeah. My bust downs. Bust downs?
No, that got to be edited out.
With a pinky.
That's not how you're supposed to drink out of that cup.
It's good tea.
So you're supposed to put your lips on. They're supposed to use a spoon.
Anyway.
We're going to take some classes so we can be right for the next tea party.
So you can be bougie.
Yeah, because I don't know if you're supposed to do the pinky. I ain't never seen them do the pinky.
Yeah, they drink with their pinky up.
I thought that was for pimps. All day it took you to finish that
No. Tea. I've been drinking on tea all day.
And your voice still sound like that.
Chloroseptic.
You're supposed to be ready for Mariah Carey or something.
Chloroseptic.
Don't hit your shooter-doo-doo.
Okay, come on. Wrap it up. We got to go. Y'all, we have had a good time this evening.
Yes, thank y'all for checking us out. Yeah. Thank you for allowing us to further the conversation. Yeah. If you have any more questions or concerns, you can get with us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at the BJEB.
Yep. And if you want to send in a question, you can email us at thebjeb@gmail.com.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll answer the best way we can.
Yep.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be creative. Be authentic. Be beautiful. Be all the things God has designed you to be.
Don't be apologetic for not allowing others to make you feel like you don't matter.